Hey, this is Sonia from An Enthusiastic Reader, and I'm here to do a tag video today. I am doing the Finally Fall book tag. I did it last year, about a year ago from this date, and I was pretty nervous back then. I think I hope I've kind of developed a little bit more ease. I wanted to do the tag again. Sean did it last week, and he re-tagged everyone he tagged last year, and I was one of those people. So here I am with my version of the tag 2019. Trusty notes. In fall, the air is crisp and clear. Name a book with a vivid setting. And for this, I chose The Wreath by Kristen Lavransdatter. I read this as part of Britta Bowler's Nobel Women group read at the beginning of the year. That was a really fun, because I don't know if I'd ever had read this book if it hadn't been for Britta. So thanks for doing that, Britta. And without pulling it off my shelf, I do believe it took place in Sweden. Please correct me if I'm wrong. And the Nordic vibe is very strong. The weather, the spring, the winter, and all of the things that are happening to this girl as she comes of age. That's a real memorable book with a vivid setting. Number 2, nature is beautiful but also dying. Name a book that is beautifully written but also deals with a heavy topic like loss or grief, and for that I'm picking Benediction by Kent Harif. Harif is a Colorado writer, or he was. His books live on beyond his life. And Benediction, I believe, was one of the very last books he wrote. It's the third in the Plainsong trilogy that he wrote about a man who is dying, and that's not giving anything away. That's the premise of the book, is that he's given a terminal diagnosis at the beginning, and then what happens with his daughter, with his wife, and with other people in the community. And it's a beautiful book. It will pretty much make you cry all day. Number 3, fall is back in season. Share a nonfiction book that taught you something new, and for this I'm choosing a book that I read quite a while ago. It's called The Magician's Book, A Skeptic's Adventure in Narnia by Laura Miller. Miller is a book critic. She now writes for Slate magazine, but she wrote this book as her experience reading the Chronicles of Narnia and also the Ring Cycle, the J.R.R. Tolkien books. And I am not a Tolkien fan. I just don't get it. I did like The Hobbit, but once I tried to venture on into the rest of the books, I was not interested. But I did like the Narnia books, especially The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And Laura Miller's book is really interesting because she compares and contrasts the two series, and she also teaches us about the friendship between C.S. Lewis and Tolkien. And their different philosophies and their mythological, is it mythology versus religion? There's a lot of information I really know nothing about, since I am not religious. I am a skeptic, and I don't really like fantasy either. So anyway, I remember reading this. I thought it was fascinating, and there's kind of a deep dive analysis into the series and her experience reading those books as well. So this might be a good one to pick up if you like books about books. Number 4, in order to keep warm, it's good to spend some time with people we love, obviously. Name a fictional family, household, friend group that you'd like to be a part of. I would like to be part of the Fox family and Kate Atkinson's Life After Life. That's one of my all-time favorite books. I've read it several times, and I love that family. And I love Ursula Fox and Teddy, so I would like to be a part of that. Number 5, the colorful leaves are piling up on the ground. Show us a pile of fall-colored spines. All right, here we go. This is my physical copies of fall-colored spines. I don't know how well they'll translate through the camera, but in real life, these are very fall-y. And I will go through them one by one quickly. The first one is my folio edition of A Tale of Two Cities. I got this for Christmas from one of my kids. Thank you, kid. And isn't it beautiful? Look at those end papers. Ooh, very fall-like. very orange and brown. And then also, gotta love the typography, lots of white space. Beautiful. I did read it in the comments section in somebody's video, and now I can't remember who, that they didn't like A Tale of Two Cities very much, but I thought it was my first Dickens novel that I read, and I thought it was great. So it got me into Dickens. I love Dickens. The next one is a book of short stories, Evening in Paradise by Lucia Berlin. I really liked a manual for cleaning women, and so I wanted to read this. Of course, I haven't gotten to it yet, but very fall-like. The Largesse of the Sea Maiden by Dennis Johnson. I've read some of those stories in the New Yorker, but have not read the book yet. Warlight by Michael Ondaatje. Very fall-like. And this one I bet no one else has in their fall collection. It's called Fabulous Fabrics of the 50s. It's a design book. And just get a look at some of these great fabrics. And they're very fall-like. This is a real fall-like spread right there. For some reason, these fabrics make me feel really nostalgic, and I wasn't even alive in the 50s, so they shouldn't. But I think my great-grandmother may have had some upholstery that had various very graphic designs, and so this book makes me feel very fallish. Love it. Okay, The Nights Are Getting Darker. Share a dark, creepy read. I thought The Little Stranger by Sarah Waters was creepy. Just the way that she sets up the whole atmosphere of this house that is falling apart in the post-World War II era of Britain. I think of London, and just the way she writes this book, you can't help but feel kind of creeped out. Number 8, The Days Are Getting Colder. Name a short, heartwarming read that could warm up anybody's cold and rainy day. For this, I go back into my childhood for a book I read a million times called A Little Princess by Frances Hodgson Burnett. This is one of my all-time favorite children's books and little Sarah Crewe being orphaned. Her father has a calamity of illness in the diamond mines of India where they are colonizing, which I didn't know colonizing was bad. I didn't even know what it was, so please don't judge me for loving this book, even though it was, really not probably the best thing, or the best representation of India. But anyway, you know the story. She becomes an orphan. Her father puts her in this fantastic boarding school, and she is like the little princess of the school. And then when he dies and is financially ruined, she must become the maid. And I don't know, just that fantasy of what happens when everything you love and have is ripped out from underneath you, but yet you still have a very strong interior core of character and you just bear it. Anyway, it's a great heartwarming read. It'll make you feel great. Okay, number 9, fall. Luckily, it's my favorite season, returns every year. Name an old favorite that you'd like to return to soon. I think I would like to reread A Little Women. I think I would like to reread The Little Women. No, it's not called The Little Women. I'm starting this all over again. Fall, luckily, it's my favorite season, returns every year. Name an old favorite that you'd like to return to soon. Little Women. I think I'm very excited about the book coming out. I saw some skeptic the other day tweeting, why do we have to keep returning to this same material generation after generation? And I'd say there's some good reasons for that. Anonymous complainer on the internet. This book has had a huge impact on the world of literature. If you read the book by Anne Rue Boyd, all about Little Women and Why It Still Matters, I highly recommend it for Nonfiction November if you're interested in the phenomenon of this book. But it was very impactful. It was read all around the world, and it's had several film adaptations. Why shouldn't this generation get a new adaptation of the movie? They're probably not going to watch the Katharine Hepburn version. Let them watch the new Greta Gerwig version. This is going to be great. So let's be enthusiastic about something. And so Little Women is the book I might want to return to very soon. And finally, fall is the perfect time for cozy reading nights. Share your favorite cozy reading accessories. And I think if you have a blanket and a cat and a fireplace, you will be set. And that's all I have for now. This is a fun tag. If you'd like to do it, please do so. And let me know if I have sparked any interest in these books, or you hate Little Women, or whatever. Just let's talk about it in the comments, and I will talk to you soon. So see you later. Bye.